up, guys? Doug here, back with another video. I wanted to give you guys an update on the 79. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video on it. You can see it is in pieces. The cab is actually probably gonna come off the next week or two. And the frame's gonna have to get sandblasted and all that stuff. But yeah, so we'll jump right into the video and I'll give you an update on the whole truck. So here is how the truck sits right now in all of its beautiful glory here. I actually go back and watch my old YouTube video to see how this truck looked the last time I posted a video. It's been that long. I didn't have the 4-link on there, so I got my bracket made, my 4-link bars all made. I gotta do an overlay yet still for that bracket. And then all that stuff's coming off to get powder coated, obviously. I got my 7-inch dual ray icon coils in there. I'm pretty sure those were in there in the last video, along with my PMF leaf springs. But I'm actually adding a leveling kit to the front also to bring the front up another roughly 1.5 to 2 inches, just because the back sits taller right now. But yeah, I went through, stripped all the paint off the truck. I'm not done yet, I got to finish up the cab, but the doors are all stripped. We stripped the entire bed, took all the paint off that, fenders, hood, everything was stripped all the way down to bare metal. So that took quite a bit of time. My bed is actually fully finished. It's painted, completely wet sanded, buffed out and everything. Tailgate's done, and the little door for the tire compartment on the side, that's completely done. It's actually here, sitting on the outside of my black truck, but I'm not posting any videos of that until the whole body's done. It did take my painter a little longer on the bed than I was hoping, but once I seen it, I'm like, the results speak for themselves. Don't rush, do your thing. He did an amazing job, knocked it out of the park. It looks absolutely beautiful. The bed's probably straighter now than it was from the factory. He really killed it on it, and the paint looks amazing. So, yep, definitely worth the wait on that. So, he has the fenders and hood right now. He had to come over and straighten out the front edge of his door. It's kind of dipped in at the bottom there. So, he came over, lined that stuff with the fender. Then he took all the front clip stuff. He's got that now. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gut the doors, pull the interior out, and then the cab's gonna come off, motor's coming off, and obviously everything is gonna get sandblasted and painted. So yeah, as far as the frame goes, I'm going through and welding up all the holes in the frame. I did quite a few of them on this side, but some of these bigger ones, I got some laser cut plugs to fill some of these bigger ones. It's getting fully welded, and the entire frame's getting sandblasted. I'm gonna bring it back here, do body filler on it, and sand the whole thing down so it's really smooth, and then epoxy primer and paint the entire frame. So it's gonna be, every single hole is gonna be completely smooth. There'll be no visible holes on this. The only brackets that'll be on the outside of the frame will be those 2 leasing brackets, 4-link bracket there, and the coil buckets. That's gonna be the only brackets that bolt onto the frame. So it'll be totally smoothed out, and it'll really top it off. This is gonna be a one-of-a-kind truck for sure. Yeah, so here's all my plugs I was talking about I had made to go through and weld up all my holes in my frame. So that'll be a fun time going through and finishing up all those holes. But there's gonna be a lot of time into welding and grinding and smoothing everything out, but the end result is really gonna set this truck off. I think it's gonna be well worth it when the truck's fully complete and assembled and painted. It's gonna look really good. Yep, all this stuff up in here is just getting painted black. So I'm gonna go through sandblast this stuff, paint it black. This fender apron here, and this custom one I did in here, these are gonna get powder coated like almost like a hammered gray, so it'll have that like black and gray vein look to it. And then my fender liners that I made, those are getting Linexed. I actually called yesterday for a quote on that stuff, so hopefully I can get those in here pretty soon. Same thing on this side, this stuff's all getting powder coated. Battery hold downs are all getting powder coated. Yeah, I stripped everything down to bare metal. I started to do this door, which this door won't be bad because this one actually really don't even need to be stripped, but I did everything else, so why not? So along with my front 4-link brackets, the other thing I did here was I built a integrated trans cross member, which turned out beautiful. Tack welded up in place, put it up in place, make sure everything worked, lined everything up, beautiful fit. The only thing I did forget was about my front drive shaft. So currently right now my front drive shaft won't clear, but I'm either going to cut my welds and drop this bracket down and then build a spacer to go there to hold the trans in place, so there'll just be a spacer between these two, or I'm going to redesign this completely and make it so it has a hoop on this side for the drive shaft to clear. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm still weighing out my options. I'm not sure which way I want to go, if I want to modify this one or completely redesign it and go from there. If I do end up putting a hoop on this side, I'll probably hoop both sides just so I have more clearance for the exhaust. The exhaust will clear right now, but it is pretty close. But if I'm gonna hoop that side, I feel like I might as well mirror it and hoop this side also. So we'll see. Another thing I don't think I had in here last time was my rear seat. So this is actually out of a 2016 GMC double cab, and it actually fits in here extremely well. The outside bracket here and the bracket on the far side actually bolted straight down to the truck. All I had to do was drill a hole and run a bolt through the floor. I had to make custom brackets for the center. There's one bracket that goes on the floor and one that goes like the floor humps up in the back. So I had to make a bracket for those two spots. And then it actually fits in here extremely well. So when you sit in here, it's actually pretty comfortable. There's plenty of leg room. I wanted to go with full crew cab seat at first, but the cabs on these older crew cab Fords are not like the new crew cab Fords. They're more comparable to like an extended cab. Yeah, so this seat fit in here really nice. The black leather, you can see it's got like the white stitching. It matches my Mustang seats like perfect. So and these do fold up out of the way and stuff. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. I don't have it fully bolted. There we go. So those still fold up out of the way. So those seats fit very well in the back of this truck. Sorry for the mess in here. This using the cab more for parts stores, not more than anything. So yeah, here I am actually sitting in the back seat. Plenty of leg room here. My knees aren't touching the seat, and this seat is actually really far back. There's a lot of leg room in the front, so this could even get scooted forward more if it needed to be. But I'm like 5'10", 5'11", and still got plenty of room back here. And even if I wanted to, you got this little drop down there. You can put your foot down there, and you can actually get really comfortable back here. Yeah, so they fit really nice. I wanted to keep all Ford stuff, but the Ford extended cab rear seats are, just glorified bench seat basically, and they're very hard to find in black leather. So, yeah, one of my buddies has a GMC double cab. I was looking at his truck and, man, these rear seats look like they would fit perfect in the back of my truck. So, took some measurements off his truck, measured my cab here, and it was like it was made to be. So, found a set on eBay. They weren't too crazy expensive to buy and have shipped here. So, and these things are in beautiful condition. They're super dusty right now from stripping all the paint off the body, but yep, like I said, they do match the Mustang seats very well too. Black leather with the white stitching. So super happy with these seats. Yeah, they're definitely more comfortable than the stock bench seat that would have been back here. Size wise, they're probably pretty comparable. Your knees sit kind of up higher. They're about the same height off the ground as the stock bench seat would have been and stuff. So it's pretty comfortable. Like I said, this truck is not a daily driver. It's not like I'm gonna be going on 5-hour ride where someone's riding back here. So it'll just be at shows and stuff where someone wants to ride in the back, and they'll be more than comfortable back here. It's definitely nicer than the stock bench seats. And as you can see, I'm still sitting in the back seat here. There's still plenty of headroom and stuff back here, so pretty comfortable. Definitely a nice option. There wasn't a whole lot of rear seats I could find that would fit. Like I said, I wanted to stick with crew cab seats, but they're way too big. Your knees would have been shoved into the front seats here. So these GMC double cab seats were a really good option in my case. So as you can see, it matches the black leather and white stitching of these Mustang seats very well. I'm pretty sure I did a video with these seats in here already, but in case you haven't seen some of my older videos, here's the 2016 Mustang GT Premium black leather seats. They're heated and cooled, and I'm gonna have all that hooked up to function properly. So they are full power seats. I do already have that wired into work. I don't have the heated and cooled wired in right now because I'm doing a center console in here, and the buttons and stuff to turn that on and off are gonna be in the center console. So I do know how to make it work. I just haven't actually done it yet because I don't have my switches hooked up. So but yeah, that's on the list to do. Some other new parts I just got in for the truck. I did order the full power window kit, front and rear. I'm glad I did. I was gonna wait till after the truck was painted, but I started thinking about it, like, man, if I gotta drill some holes in the door or something, that's really gonna suck after it's painted. So I'm glad I did order these, because as soon as you open the box, drill 1-inch holes for the rubber boots to go from the door to the cab. So glad I ordered this ahead of time. So I'm gonna probably next week go through, fit this stuff up, That way I can gut the doors and start getting ready to pull the cab and stuff, and keep moving forward on this project. I'm really excited to start to see it come together. You know, the truck's been sitting, you know, dirty frame and stripped metal, and you know, it's just pretty much at its ugliest point it can be right now. So when you finally get to see a project come full circle and it starts to look, you know, on the pretty side, you know, once the frame gets all painted black and stuff, it's really exciting to see it all come together. I literally just have boxes and boxes of brand new parts for this thing. Brand new lockout hubs, a whole bunch of stuff I went through and sandblasted and powder coated. A whole bunch of new lights, cab lights, a whole bunch of engine parts in here. There's new injectors, Sinister diesel, EGR delete kit. I honestly don't even remember what else in here, but there's tons of parts in here for that truck. Got all brand new knuckles. I'm gonna sandblast and powder coat those. Sucks they already came with the ball joints in, so I gotta take the ball joints back out. I'm not using these rotors. I'm gonna use, I'm ordering up the full Powerstroke kit with the all new calipers and drilled and slotted rotors and brakes and all that stuff. New axle shafts. Gonna go through and put all new axle shafts, vacuum seals. These already have new U-joints in them, and these are the 1550 series. So yeah, I mean, just tons of parts piling up for this truck, and really gonna go through and deck it out. And one other thing I almost forgot I did. In all my other videos, my truck had the, you know, they had these 24 by 14s on them, but I had the, it was a weird metric size. It was like a 37 or 38 inch Turo trail blade, I believe they were. And they looked kind of small on the truck, and I didn't really care for the tire. So I got a really good deal on these 40 by 1550s, RBPs for Pulsar MTs. Yeah, so I went ahead and sold those other tires, got these swapped around and mounted. Huge shout out to Don's Tire Shop in Maybe. I was really surprised they were able to do this, but they knocked it out. Got it all done in a day, and got everything balanced out and everything really good. They put balancing beads and everything, so yeah, they did a really good job, and were really inexpensive compared to what I thought it was going to be to get, you know, 38s, took it off in 40s, putting on 24s. So they did a really good job, took care of everything really good. So huge shout out to Don's Tire Shop over there. So yeah, they're not on now, but I do have pictures of the truck with the 40s on it, and I'll make sure to post those. But actually, when I was with the 40s on it, the bottom of the window was at about the top of my head. So I mean, it was really tall. It looked really good. It looked a lot better with the 40s than it did with, you know, those other tires, those 37s or 38s or whatever they were. Yeah, these 40s definitely feel the wheel wells a lot better. But even in the front, like I don't have the leveling kit on right now, and I could still turn lock to lock, no problem. So plenty of room. I'll still be able to get, you know, plenty of travel out of this thing. Won't have to worry about rubbing on nothing. So it'll be a really good look for this truck. I know some people don't like the big wheels. I do like the look of like the smaller wheels with boggers and stuff too. So I do have my eye out for like some 18s with like 40-inch boggers on them if I can find them. But it's not a common size. So it's usually when you find boggers, it's like they're on like a 15 or 16-inch wheel, and I can't run those with Super Duty axles. So just if I find a set, I'll pick up a second set just to have, you know, a look for both setups. But I don't know, we'll see. Sticking with the 24s for now. But yeah, like I said, just want to do an update on the truck. I know it's been a long time. A lot of stuff happening, you know, paint's getting laid down, powder coat's getting laid down. Got a lot of welding to do and get the frame blasted and painted, and she'll start coming back together, and we'll start be on the downside of this battle. But it's definitely, like I said, it's gonna be a beautiful truck, definitely like top quality build. Going through and doing all that extra work to the frame and everything, and the quality that my painter is doing is just insane. So when this thing's fully assembled, it's gonna be a really beautiful truck. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, super excited, and can't wait to show you guys it all put together.